Aloha and welcome to A Course in Miracles. We're on lesson 136 of the Workbook for Students. Sickness is a defense against the truth. So today we're going to look at sickness and healing. No one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. For then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning. Being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. When this is seen, healing is automatic. It dispels this meaningless illusion by the same approach that carries all of them to truth and merely leaves them there to disappear. So here we see that we're being told that in order to heal, we have to understand what purpose sickness seems to serve. And it says, then we can understand also that its purpose has no meaning. So if the purpose of sickness is to, well, let's just look and see what it says the purpose of sickness it is. Sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is an insane device for self-deception. And like all the rest, its purpose is to hide reality. So here's sickness's purpose: to hide reality, to attack it, to change it, and render it inept, to distort it, twist it, and reduce it, reality, to a little pile of unassembled parts. The aim of all defenses, such as sickness, is to keep the truth from being whole. The parts are seen as if each one were whole within itself. So this is what sickness's purpose is, according to the ego, is to hide and deceive us, to attack our reality, to break it into little pieces, so it isn't any longer seen as whole or one. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. They are a secret magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidity with which you choose to use them, in that second, when we choose to use sickness, or even less, in which the choice is made, you recognize exactly what you would attempt to do, and then proceed to think that it is done. Okay. So, the Course in Miracles teaches that nothing comes to us that we don't basically ask for or want or desire. And this would include sickness. So this is a hard thing for some people to really get their head wrapped around, because the idea that the very thing that you feel like is destroying your life, whatever sickness it is, the idea that I'm responsible for bringing the sickness on me. Like God isn't responsible, or the devil isn't responsible, or some germs or disease, but no, the Course is saying that we are responsible for the sickness that we're using to hide the truth from us. And that is a lot for some people to be able to comprehend. Because, on one way, it's a great thing to know, because if I'm responsible for something, I can easily make a choice for something else. But if I think that the cause is outside of myself, like maybe it's God that's put this on me, or the devil, or some germs or disease or something out of my control, then there's nothing that I can do about it except maybe pray, maybe take some medicine, go to the doctor. So this idea that sickness is a defense against the truth may be hard to swallow, but there's something we always want to be able to put the blame on something else. But it's really empowering to know the truth, that I'm actually using sickness as a defense against the truth. Because then I can change my mind about it. It's not that I'm being attacked in any way, except from my own self attacking myself, my body. So defenses are not intentional. They're like the secret magic wand that we wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. So what is it that we would believe? We would believe that we are separate, that we have broken up the unity of heaven, and we are out here alone in the world with all of these other people that are also separate, thinking separate thoughts from us, going along, doing their own separate thing. And that is the illusion that we want to keep up. And when anything comes along that tries to threaten that illusion, there's a part of us that has been set in motion that the Course says triggers these defenses to lie to us and to keep us living in the dream of illusion. So these defenses, like sickness, it says they seem to be unconscious because of how fast they happen. And also, we intentionally forget it. Let's look at the next paragraph. Who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real. So we see the truth and judge it as a threat, and we set up these defenses. And all this cannot be done unconsciously. In other words, it's saying this is being done consciously. You are intentionally and purposefully using these defenses to keep yourself in the illusion. But afterwards, when we set up all these defenses, our plan requires that we must forget that we made it. Reminds me of a Star Trek show I saw once. where they went to this planet and they tried to erase everybody's mind, but they couldn't erase Data's mind, and the plan would always fail because Data has to tell the truth. But anyway, so that's kind of what we've done. You know, we purpose, according to the Course, we purposely execute this defense plan to protect us from the truth coming in and destroying our illusion of this world and ourselves as separate. And then part of that is to make ourselves forget that we ever did this plan. Pretty wild, huh? Pretty wild. But afterwards, your plan requires that you must forget you made it. So it seems to be external to you, to your own intent, a happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you instead of one effected by yourself. So we have to make this thing look like we didn't actually do it. And we have to believe that we didn't actually do it. And the only way to do that is to forget that we actually did it. So it is this quick forgetting of the part you play in making your reality that makes defenses seem to be beyond your own control. But what you forgot can be remembered. So it's possible to remember that we actually did this. Given willingness, if we have the willingness to reconsider the decision, which is doubly shielded by oblivion. So, your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force as far as your desires are concerned. So I don't know when actually we make this. It kind of seems to me that perhaps this was made at a time that we don't remember making it. I don't know, maybe before we came here. I don't know. But this is what the Course says. We put these defenses in place and then forced ourselves to forget that we actually put them there. So we would be able to feel like we're the victim, that we're not in control of it. And the reason we did this is so that when the truth comes along and says, look, all this is an illusion. You're not really a body. You're really mind. You're really spirit. That we can use the sickness that is affecting the body, bringing us pain, discomfort, whatever, to prove to ourselves that statement about the truth is not true. Because look, I'm feeling this pain. I am a body. I'm the one feeling this pain. So this whole thing is like a clever trick that whenever the truth comes along and to tell us you're not a body, that sickness and pain screaming out to us, yes, you are a body. You're feeling this sickness. You're feeling this pain. So that's what it's telling us, that this sickness is a defense against the truth that we're trying to see right now, that we are one, that the separation never occurred. But it says we can remember doing this, given a willingness to reconsider the decision which is doubly shielded by oblivion. Your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force as far as your desires are concerned. Mistake not this for fact. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this that they do. Every defense takes a fragment of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that are not there. It is this process that imposes threat, and not whatever outcome may result. When parts are wrestled from the whole and seen as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect, and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you've forgotten that they stand but for your own decision of what should be real, to take the place of what is real. This is all part of this elaborate scheme that we've cooked up to deceive ourselves. And it's a decision that we made. Sickness is a decision. It's not a thing that happens to you. And that is what is so hard. I know people that I couldn't even begin to even suggest that sickness is not something that happened to you. But it's a decision that you've made. It's like comes from your mind. They would like freak out and never speak to me again if I suggested that. So this kind of information is really only not for us to go around, I believe, not for us to go around telling people who aren't ready for it. But if you're ready, if you want to be whole and you want to be healed in your mind, then you're ready for the real way that healing can come. And it is through our own decisions. Because if we're the ones that brought on the illusion of sickness, then we're also the ones that can let that illusion go. And that's the whole point that I believe this lesson is trying to teach us, because the Holy Spirit wants us to be healers. But we can never be healers until we understand this idea of sickness being a defense against the truth. So sickness is a decision. It's not a thing that happens to you quite unsought, what makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice that you make, a plan you lay, when for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepares to fall. Because of the truth is doing this. Because it's about to undo all these illusions. So now are you sick? So that truth may go away and threaten your establishments no more. How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from the truth? And this is how. Because it proves the body is not separate from you. Which is an illusion. But it's a pretty powerful tool that the ego uses to prove to us that we are not separate from our body. You're sitting there going, I am not my body. I am free. I am still as God created me. And boom, some pain comes in your body and goes, oh, this does feel like my body. So that's how it works. So now are you sick, that the truth may go away and threaten your establishment no more. So how do you think that sickness can succeed and shielding you from the truth, because it proves the body is not separate from you, and so you must be separate from the truth. You suffer pain because the body does, and in this pain are you made one with it, one with the body. Thus is your true identity, true in quotes, that's who you think you are. I'm Micah, I'm here, I'm living on planet Earth. Thus your true identity is preserved, and the strange, haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust is silenced and stilled. So I guess the Course in Miracles was wrong. I think I am a body. So that's how sickness works. For see this dust, it says, see this dust, your body, can make you suffer, can twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. In other words, when your body dies, you die. That's it. Because you are your body. Thus is the body stronger than the truth, which asks you, live, but cannot overcome your choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life. Of course it's not, but this is what it's trying to prove to us, sickness. Heaven more frail than hell, and God's design for salvation of his Son is opposed by a decision stronger than God's will. His Son is dust, the Father incomplete, and chaos sits in triumph on his throne. So this is what sickness is meant to prove to us. Such is your planning for your own defense, and you believe that heaven quails before such mad attacks as these, with God made blind by your illusions, truth turned into lies, and all the universe made slave to laws which your defenses would impose on it. Yet, who believes illusions except for the person that made them up? We're the only one that believes them. Who else can see them and react to them as if they were the truth? God knows not of your plans to change his will. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it, and heaven is not bowed to hell, nor life to death. You can but choose to think you die, or suffer sickness, or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of this. The real us, the true what we are, is apart from all of this. Defenses are plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. We cannot be attacked. What is unalterable, which is you and me, our true self, cannot change, and what is wholly sinless cannot sin. Such is the simple truth. It does not make appeal to might nor triumph. It does not command obedience nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defenses that would alter it. Truth merely wants to give us happiness, for such its purpose is. Perhaps it sighs a little when you throw away its gifts, and yet it knows with perfect certainty that what God wills for you must be received. It is this fact that demonstrates that time is an illusion. For time lets you think what God has given you is not the truth right now. as it must be. The thoughts of God are quite apart from time. For time is but another meaningless defense you made and I made against the truth. Yet what He wills is here, and you remain as God created you. We've heard that before. Truth has a power far beyond defense, for no illusion can remain where truth has been allowed to enter, and it comes to any mind that would lay down its arms and cease to play with folly. It is found at any time, today, if you will choose to practice giving welcome to the truth. And we do choose to practice giving welcome to the truth. This is our aim today, and we will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and to set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation which we give today. We introduce it with a healing prayer to help us rise above defensiveness and let truth be as it has always been. So here's our healing prayer. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. That's how we start, with that healing prayer. And then healing will flash across your open mind as peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. There will be no dark corners sickness can conceal and keep defended from the light of truth. There will be no dim figures from your dreams, nor their obscure and meaningless pursuits with double purpose insanely sought remaining in your mind. It will be healed of all the sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. Now is the body healed because the source of sickness has been open to relief. And you will recognize you practice well by this. The body, it says we'll recognize that we're practicing this well. This is what we should feel. The body should not feel at all. If you have been successful, there will be no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pain or pleasure. No sense at all is in the mind to what the body does. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. Its usefulness remains, the body's usefulness, and nothing more. So that's going to if you get that sense of not feeling with the body at all, you know you're in that place that we want to get to today in this exercise. So perhaps you do not realize that this removes the limits you had placed upon the body by the purpose you gave it. And these are laid aside in strength. As these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. The body's health is fully guaranteed because it is not limited by time, by weather, or fatigue, by food and drink, or any laws you made it to serve. You need do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. Yet this protection needs to be preserved by careful watching If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. Give instant remedy should this occur by not allowing your defensiveness to hurt you longer. Do not be confused about what must be healed, but tell yourself, I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defense against the truth, but I am not a body, and my mind cannot attack. So, I cannot be sick. So I know this is a long one today, but it's a very important one, especially if we want to be able to be healers and to be healed ourselves. We have to allow our mind to be changed about the purpose that sickness plays in deceiving us and proving that we were right all along. We are separate. We have fallen. We have sinned. So today, let's really try to give these 2 15-minute periods, or more if you want to, need to say this healing prayer and to allow the Holy Spirit to come in and show us the truth. So, that's our lesson for today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for letting me read this lesson with you and be a part of your experience as you are of mine of this workbook for A Course in Miracles. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bless you. Love you. Peace to you. Joy to you.